So, we're going to talk about human needs, okay? Because the human need theory is the foundation of what the Center for Professional Development has been about since 1978. And that's why it works, okay? Because it's true. So whenever you see that pyramid, the pyramid really represents the human need. Okay? And I built it in a pyramid because if you don't put the foundational pieces in place biologically, you can't grow. Let me say that again. Biologically, if you don't build the foundation, you can't evolve and grow. So what's true for us as human beings, follow me, is also true for any organization that we would build. So I want to walk through that with you because I think it's so, so important, okay? So what are the principles of human motivation? All, not some, not a little, all human behavior is motivated by the fulfillment and satisfaction of human needs. Now there's a problem here. And the problem is that most people don't understand when they have a problem or something itches or they get upset or they get angry, they're just angry. They don't understand maybe where it's coming from, but it always comes from some frustration. Frustration of not getting some need met, okay? So keep this in mind. All human behavior is motivated by the fulfillment and satisfaction of need. Once a need is satisfied, it no longer motivates. So what happens here is lower needs generally have to be satisfied before higher needs appear. So whatever and whenever a need or needs are not being fulfilled, that's where all your thoughts, your energy, your emotion, and your behavior is going to be focused. Whatever need is not being fulfilled, that's the one that you're going to spend the most time attempting to get fulfilled. If you happen to get stuck at the lower levels, if you never get control of money in your life, that's where you're going to spend your life. Let me just say that again. If you don't get control of money, your whole life is going to be oriented to money. This is the country we live in, a money-oriented, greed-oriented culture, because people just, the more they make, the more they what? The more they make, the more they spend. Okay? It's kind of like human nature, but it doesn't work, okay? So we all have this DNA string, okay? We all have human needs, okay? We have the need for survival. We have the needs for safety. We have the needs for social or belongingness. We have the needs for esteem of self and esteem from others. And we have the need for, as Maslow suggests, self-actualization, which means completeness, aliveness, okay? And people that fulfill their lower needs or satisfy them to a degree can move up. It doesn't mean they will, but they can evolve and move up. So I thought it would be interesting to just take a few pieces from biology and really suggest the following. To the degree that you are able to identify, so I have to identify what needs of mine aren't being fulfilled in order to fulfill them. Would you agree with that? If I don't know, what needs aren't being fulfilled, then I may not know what strategies or actions to take to fulfill them, okay? To the degree that you're able to identify the needs of your patients, your practice will grow. You see, your practice, and this is the bad news, your practice really wasn't created for you. That's really hard. When I say that, I know half the people I talk to leave. Because how many dentists really went into dentistry for any other reason, anything other than themselves? But until you get your own needs met, you're really not in a position to meet anybody else's needs. But does that make sense? It does to me. So let's look a little bit at the biology of growth, okay? In the first stage, there is disorder. So you have to move from disorder, from chaos, eventually to order. What we were looking at in that little video about the airplanes, trying to figure out what worked. So in nature always goes from disorder to order, okay? And at this point, a pattern develops, okay? And it goes something like this. every oak tree, every leaf of an oak is similar. Not exactly, but similar. Okay? Every maple leaf is similar, not exactly the same. So in nature, we're more alike than we really are different. If we're healthy, we're more similar than we are dissimilar. What Virginia Satir is credited of quoting is the following statement: all unhealthy families are unhealthy in different ways. But all healthy families, that is systems, are healthy in similar ways. So there's patterns that develop. And those patterns either move us towards growth or they move us towards entropy. Growth or entropy. We're all dying when we're born. But some of us are dying faster than others. Would you agree? You look at some people and they're 50 years old and they look like 90. They act like 95. Okay? You know they're never going to make it. Okay? So the issue then is, once order is in any system, pay attention to this, this is critical. Once order is in any system, you can grow it. Now let's think about, let's put our technicians' hats on a minute. Okay? We got some great dentists here. We got some fabulous people. Ed Miller is a great dentist. I'm blessed to work with, my two dentists are in the room. Okay? Hal Stewart, my orthodontist, Jeff Mark. Jeff's got to be one of the finest orthodontists I've ever met in my life. And here's one of the finest endodontists sitting right here, Tom McClamey, right in front of me. Okay? So in endodontics, in orthodontics, in restorative dentistry, in whatever you're doing, you have a system. Would you agree? You can't leave out a part of that system. I mean, you can't make a crown until you do a prep, right? There's this orderly way that we go about doing whatever we do, whether it's endodontics, orthodontics, restorative dentistry, periodontics, implants, I don't care what. As a technician, we understand we have to have a pattern, right? We have to have a really elegant process that works. Does this make sense to you? Why would we think? We are really well suited to take that over into management because everything works in a pattern. So people have patterns of behavior. Have you noticed that? Some people live under a cloud. No matter what they do, it's raining, it's a thunderstorm. And other people kind of walk through life and things kind of work really, really good for them. Okay? We've got to tell your story. You've got to tell your story. You've got to get up and front of people because you got a pattern. Follow me? You get a pattern and then you can grow. Okay? Now that's nature. Now let's do it again. Let's suppose, this is critical that you get this. You can't go anywhere unless you get this. Okay? I can't go anywhere. You're a little kid. You're 6 years old. Okay? See, when we're small, we're influenced and controlled by the environment, right? We need help to get along, right? We are controlled by the environment. Everybody get this? Then we get to the next stage and we begin to be able to be in control and influence our own life. Tie our shoes, we can eat, we can actually maybe go out and get a job, you know? We can actually begin that process of identity. We can move from codependency to independency. This is how nature works. This is how people grow and evolve. But if somebody doesn't be able to control their environment, then all of their effort and energy is going to be where, right? They won't evolve, they won't grow, they won't develop. I want to share one little point. There's lots of addictions. There's 17 of them. Work and money are 2 of them. Okay? Work and money are 2 addictions. Okay? Whenever you get addicted to anything, whenever anybody gets addicted to anything, they stop their maturation and their development as human beings. They stop there. If you started drinking when you were 16 and you got addicted to alcohol, you might be 40, but you're a 16-year-old from a human development. Whatever you get stuck. See, the problem, as Joan Forrest from the Dawson Center said, if you want to be a complete dentist, you got to be a complete human being. If you want to be, that's why there's so much inadequate, incomplete, crappy dentistry that's done today. Because we got a whole group of dentists that are what? Not developed. They haven't evolved. They got stuck, okay? So then the third level in biology is you're able to influence others and the environment, okay? I didn't create this. This is from George Land, a biologist, one of the world's brightest human beings that happens to still live in Scottsdale. So we go from codependency. We're codependent with something. Huh? You with me? To independent of it, to now we can be interdependent. We can form relationships. We can work in a synergistic environment, not using people but collaborating with people. So if we take the human needs and we put them into this, at the base level is survival, safety, and security. And I built this as a pyramid because these are the strongest instinctual human needs. Okay? The strongest instinctual human needs. The next level, once we get beyond safety, survival, and security, we can move to the next level, which is more about control equals freedom, and we have more power, personal power, you know, to organize and run our own lives. And if we get that level, then we can move up, and we can move up to more completeness, more in the area of, we can be in relationship with people without using them. We can truly care about people. We can get involved with people, try to make a difference in their lives. But we all have to go through this kind of thing. I always say we all start in the same place when we graduate from dental school. So when we think about what we're going to talk about today, and we start thinking about, well, what do we need to do? What are really the elements that we need as we isolate the elements, the key elements in a professional practice or business? There's 7, whereas it took 5 to get the DC3 going. There are 7 key elements: purpose, organization, people, marketing, sales, time, and money. Now, if we were going to organize and develop another kind of business other than a professional practice, there might be different set of elements, and the model or the blueprint could and would be different. To say that every business is going to, but this model is developed for a dentist or a professional who is the technician that works in his or her own business. Okay? These are the elements that we have to be concerned about. And when you really work and think about, and you really put these elements into place, what they create is freedom. Okay? Freedom. Why would you or I or anybody go in to own their own practice to be a slave to it? It just doesn't make sense. We went into dentistry because we perceived we'd have more of an opportunity for financial freedom, more of an opportunity for time freedom, more of an opportunity for relationship freedom, right? To be able to work with the people we wanted to work with on the people we wanted to work on. And we did it because some people wanted a chance to make a difference in their purpose freedom. I mean, like, it's your practice, right? So when you think and develop your practice, it's, what do I want from that? What kind of freedoms do I want from that? And it becomes really important that we think about this, because isn't this why you go into practice? Tim, think about the freedoms. Does that ring a bell? Absolutely. Which one of the freedoms? Time, money, relationship, purpose, power? The real sense of freedom, control of your life.